Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Umo and I am a fashion designer. Okay, so today this is obviously my first video, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to draft the pattern for your front bodice and your back bodice. But first of all, we're going to start with the front bodice, and I think it would be better if we divided this video into two. So I think this front bodice part will be part one, and then the back bodice parts will be part two. Okay, so on to our tutorial for today. First of all, we're going to be needing four types of measurements. The first is the circumference measurements. And the circumference measurements are basically your bust width, that's around your bust, the fullest part of your bust around your bust, then your under bust width, then your navel width. Those are the three circumference measurements that we're going to be needing. Then the second set of measurements we're going to be needing are your vertical measurements. So basically your shoulder, this is your shoulder to your bust point, and then your shoulder to your under bust, the underneath of your bust, and then your shoulder to your navel. Those are basically the vertical measurements we're going to be needing for the front bodies. And then there's okay, I think I should just say this now. We're also going to be needing for your back bodies. Let's just take all the measurements at once. For your back bodies, we're also going to be needing your back waist, which is, I don't know if you can really see this, but your back, this is this point on your neck, this sharp bone on your neck, to this line, the line of your navel, just the same on the same horizontal line as your navel. So from that point to your back waist. And then the third set of measurements we're going to be needing are your horizontal measurements, which are your shoulder width, so that's one edge of your shoulder to the other, and then your neck width, which is one edge of your neck to the other. Then we're also going to be needing your across chest, so which is not this widest point of your bust, but your chest, across your chest. So from this point to this point, you don't have to go under your armpits. And then for the back bodies, we're going to be needing the across back too. So along that line, measure across your back. And then the fourth set of measurements that we're going to be needing are your diagonal measurements, which is your shoulder slant for your front bodies and your back body. So your shoulder slant is this edge of your shoulder to your navel. So you're supposed to take it across. Let me try to. So this is it. This edge of your shoulder across to your navel. I really hope this is clear. So this is from here to here. So those are all the measurements that we're going to be needing to draft our front bodice pattern and our back bodice pattern. The thing about patterns that I really like is that with patterns, I think it saves you a lot of time as a designer. So first of all, so the thing with patterns is that it saves you a lot of time as a designer. So for example, if you have a client that you sew for regularly, I think it only makes sense for you to just have the person's basic bodice block, like their front and their back bodice block patterns, and then whenever you want to sew for them, just place the pattern on the coat and cut, and then everybody is good to go, as against having to all the time this whole freehand thing that you have to draw the pattern on the fabric all the time. I think this is just much more sensible. This is what I do for most of my customers, although I don't do it all the time, but at least most of the times I do it. So basically, on to our tutorial. So the first step is, there are basically just just 5 easy steps in drafting this pattern. And this is what we're going to be doing in preparation for this tutorial. In preparation to draw our pattern, first of all, divide all your circumference measurements. So your bust width, your under bust width, and your waist width divided by 4. Then your vertical measurements, remain the same, but your horizontal measurements divide by 2, and that's basically all. So note, your circumference measurements divide by 4, your horizontal measurements divide by 2. That's all that you need. So basically, step 1, the first step is mark and measure out all your vertical measurements. So this is the top of my paper. I hope you can see. Yes, this is the top of my paper. And so from the top of my paper, I measure out all my vertical measurements. My vertical measurements are my shoulder to my bust point, shoulder to my under bust, and the shoulder to my waist. So very, very easy. The shoulder to my bust point is 10 inches. So I measure down 10 inches from the top of the paper and I mark the point. For accuracy, I move down 10 inches again and mark the point. Then I move down 10 inches and mark the point. And then I draw out the line. Very, very, very easy. So this is my bust point line. Then the second, measure out your shoulder to your under bust point. My shoulder to my under bust point is 14 inches. So this is also 14 inches for accuracy, and then again 14 inches for accuracy. And then I draw out the line. So bust point line, under bust line. And then my shoulder to my waist is 19 inches. Sorry, my shoulder to my navel is 19 inches. So very easily I'll mark out 19 inches. And then I move to the center, also mark out 19 inches for accuracy. And then another 19 inches for accuracy. And so I draw out all 3 lines. So this is my bust point line, this is my under bust line, and then this is my navel line. Very, very, very easy. So the next step is, after measuring and marking out all your vertical points, then you draw out your armhole box. To draw out your armhole box, you need your shoulder width. My shoulder width is 15. Remember I said divide your horizontal measurements into 2. Your shoulder width is one of your horizontal measurements. So 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So from this edge of my paper, from the vertical edge of my paper, I measure 7.5 inches. And then 7.5 inches also. And then 7.5 inches. I just like measuring this way because of accuracy. I'm using 8.5 for my armhole depth. So from the top of my paper, I measure 8.5 inches down. This is 8.5 inches. And then 8.5 inches. So very, very easily I draw out my armhole box. So this is my armhole box. Very, very, very easy. The next step is to draw out my shoulder slant and my neck hole, as well as the arm side. So let's start with the neck hole. One nape of my neck to the other is 5 inches. So I divide that by 2, and that's 2.5. So I measure from this vertical edge of your paper, measure 2.5 inches. Two and a half inches. For my armhole depth, so I'll use 2.5 inches. And so this is 2.5 inches. Then I draw out my armhole, my neck hole, sorry. One of the very easy ways to find out your armhole depth, that's your armhole depth, how deep the neckline, how deep the natural neckline of your cloth should be, is measure from the tip, the nape of your neck, down to this bone. Just a very, very easy way to measure it. Measure to that point. And so I think that's very easy, but usually I use 2.5 if I want the necklines of my clothes to be really tight, so 2.5 inches. And then the next stage now is to measure, to draw out our shoulder slants, the slant of our shoulder. So the slant of your shoulder basically is your across body measurements. Subtract your across body measurement from the measurement of the top of your paper to where your navel is. And from the nape of my neck, this measurement that we took, nape of your neck to your navel is 19, while from this edge of my shoulder to my navel is 18. So 19 minus 18 is supposed to be 1 inch. The slant of my shoulder is supposed to be 1 inch. So it's just very easy. Always remember, subtract this measurement, the slant, this across body measurement from your shoulder to navel measurement. Very, very easy. So it's 1 inch, and then I draw on my 1 inch. Then from the edge of the nape of my neck, I connect the 2 points with a diagonal line. So this is basically what we have. So the next stage is to draw out our arm side. That was my ruler falling down, sorry. So for your arm side, very, very easy. From this point, that's where the slant of your shoulder ends. Measure to this horizontal line of your armhole box. Can you see? That's this line, the horizontal line of your armhole box. Mine is 7.5. So you find 2/3, 2/3 of 7.5. 7.5 is 15/2. So which is 15/2. This is 3. So we have 5 inches. Do you understand? Very, very easy. Measure what is left after you've taken out your shoulder slant, your shoulder slope, and then find 2/3 of it. So from that point, 2/3 of mine is 5 inches. So from this edge, measure 5 inches down. Can you see? This is the point. Do you understand? It is on this point, on this line, that you measure your across chest measurement. That across chest measurement that I talked about, that is from one edge of your chest to the other, not on your bust, but just one edge of your chest to the other. So for accuracy, let me just draw a very straight line. Let me just draw a horizontal line just for accuracy, so that I'm measuring along the right point. have a new line, and this is the line for measuring my across chest. It's along that line I'll measure my across chest. My across chest measurement is 14 inches. That's my across chest measurement. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Oh, sorry, my across chest is 13 and a half. 13 and a half divided by 2 is 6 3/4. So I'll measure that out. So this is the point. This is where my across chest. This is my across chest measurement from here to here. 6 3/4 inches. So the next step is now just note that point, but leave it out. The next step is to draw out our side seam line, which is really, really easy. Basically, for this side seam, what we are going to do is okay, so for our side seam measurement is our bust width plus 1/4 inch. That's for ease, just for allowance. Because the way I take my measurements is when I'm taking my bust measurement, for example, this is my bust measurement. Mine is firm. Do you understand? It's not like it's tight. It's firm, but I use my finger. I don't know if you can really see this, but I just put my thumb behind the tape rule already for ease, but it's firm. It's not like I'm doing this. Do you understand? I can just bring it down easily. No, that's not what I do. Mine is firm. Do you understand? So it can't come down easily, but my thumb is in between my dress and the tape rule just for ease already. Do you understand? So that's how I take my measurements. So my bust is 36 inches. 36 inches divided by 4 is 9 inches. 9 inches plus 1/4 inch, that's 9 1/4 inch. So that's how I'll measure here. 9 1/4 inch. So I'll measure that here. And then also on my navel line, I'll measure 9 1/4 inch. Nine 1/4 inch. And then I use a vertical line to connect both. So this is basically my side seam line. And so having gotten our side seam line, our next step is for our dart placement. But before we do that, from this side seam line, measure 1 inch away from the side seam line, and then use a diagonal line to connect this point at your armhole box to this new point that you just marked. And so we have this new line, and then also mark another on this new line now. Mark 1 inch from your navel line upwards. Just mark that point and then just let it be there. We'll get back to that one later. So our next step is our dart placement. You can see how easy these things are. Your dart placement should be half. The center leg of your dart should be at the exact center of this, your original navel line. So original navel with your dart placement should be at the center of your navel. Sorry, why do I keep making this mistake? Okay, so we have 2 darts, one on this side and then the other on this side. Do you understand? So this, we know this is the center fold, obviously. Do you understand? So we should have our dart placement should be at the center point between the navel and our side, the side of our waist. So my waist measurement is 28. 28 divided by 4, that's our original, well, you know, originally we're supposed to divide our circumference measurements into 4. So 28 divided by 4 is already 7. Then half of that 7 is 3.5. So at that, the center leg of our dart should be at 3.5 inches away from the center front. So this is basically what we should have from the center point, center front. Measure 3.5 inches, which is half of 7 inches, up onto the bust point line. Do you understand? However, our waist dart should never get to our bust point line. Our waist dart should always stop half an inch away from our waist, our bust point line. So I'll use a vertical line to connect both points to get the center leg of my dart. So this is the center leg of my dart. However, as I mentioned earlier, my dart should stop half an inch away from my bust point line. So this is where my dart should actually stop. Do you understand? I hope this is clear. And then, to get my dart intake, that's how much the dart should be on both sides. I measure from here to here. This is 10.5 inches. I hope this is really clear. I measure from here to this new diagonal line that we have, which is 10.5 inches. And as I mentioned earlier, my waist is 7 inches. Sorry, yes, 7 inches, 10.5, and then 7 inches, which is 28 divided by 4. So I subtract 7 inches from 10.5 inches, and that will give me 2.5 inches, I guess. 7 inches from 10.5. I think that's 2.5 inches. I'm not even sure. That's 1.5 or 3.5 inches, I think. Oh, sorry, 3.5 inches. So 3.5 inches divided by 2 is 1/3 inch. This is this clear? I'm not sure. Anyways, this is 3.5 inches. I divide it by 2. So this is 1/3 inch. This where this fold is 1/3 inches. So I'll measure that out. That's my dart intake. So on both sides, I measure 1/3 inch, and then another 1/3 inch on this side. One 1/4 inches, and then 1/4 inches. So that's basically what my dart intake should be. So I connect it to where my dart is supposed to stop. So this is basically my dart intake, and you can see it's stopped half an inch short of my bust point line. This is where it stopped. So I hope this is really clear. And then just for accuracy, my under bust measurement is 28.2. So I don't know if I should talk about this in this video or in subsequent videos. However, for my under bust, I'm supposed to have 7 inches. So this is 3. Anyways, I was going to talk about throwing the darts. That's so that you ensure that your dart takes in every form of allowance that you have, and then all this side seam is accurate. Once you join your outfit at the side seam, at this side seam, the fit of your dress will be accurate. But I think I'll talk about it in subsequent videos. It's actually called throwing your darts. That's throwing, to throw a dart, which is This is changing the shape of your dart to take in every form of allowance that is required to make the fit of your cloth, your outfit perfect. But anyways, we'll talk about that subsequently. But remember that we marked a 1 inch point, 1 inch away from this horizontal line along this new side seam line. So let's connect it to the outer leg of our dart. So we connect this to the outer leg of our dart. So we have this new line, and then let's draw out our arm side. To draw out your arm side, just connect the edge of your shoulder to this across chest measurement that we measured, and then to this zone. So this is what we have. We have our arm side. So this is basically our front bodice pattern. Very, very easy. Very, very easy. I think my too much talk made this video more than 15 minutes, but actually my target was making it 15 minutes. But anyways, I think this is still very, 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 very well explained. So thank you guys. I think I'm going to be doing a second video on the how to draft your back bodice measurements. But anyways, when you want to, I think I should do another video on placing this on fabric and cutting. I don't know if it's necessary, but if it is necessary, please comment in the comment box, comment in the comment section, and let me know if you need a tutorial on how to place this pattern on your fabric to cut. Thank you very, very much guys, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys.